What's going on, guys? Brother Rusher here, back with another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. And today we're going to be taking on the EZA Extreme Z area for the GT HELLFIGHTER 17 and the GT Android 18. So figure we can hop in here, see what kind of teams we can build, see what we can kind of put together, and see what kind of like our best option is going to be. So from here, it looks like we are limited. So on stage 5, we have to bring the Android or the HELLFIGHTER 17. So we're definitely going to bring him, and it looks like our friend is... So our friend is the GT Goku. So he's GT Heroes or all types. So who do we want to bring as our leader then? I mean, I guess we could bring ours as well to give him that. Actually, GT Heroes would probably be the best bet here. I guess, well, I was going to say, like, he would maybe be okay, but he's probably not. So if we just did GT Heroes, this is kind of like our lineup. So we can bring him, what's this for Cheetah? All types, key 3 and 70%. So that Goku is actually going to be better. So we'll bring you. I guess we could bring you. Well, actually, we're going to be going up against a AGL type. So we can bring him. I guess we can bring you technically. And I don't know, I guess we can just bring you. Even though you're really not going to be the greatest here, but it should be fine. So we'll rock it like the... Actually, you know what? There is the all types. So you are a little bit older, so I don't really want to bring you. So we'll rock you, and we'll rock you instead. Because we are still going to get the extra, like, they're going to get the 40%. So it's not like a huge buff, but I mean, it's going to be good enough to where we can take this out. Oh, we're going up against Android 18 here. Oh, so we're bringing 17 for 18, and then we're going to bring 18 for 17. Okay, well, that's going to change up the team drastically then, because we need to bring AGL units, not tech units for this one. Though granted, I mean, we're still probably not going to have any issues anyway. And GT Hero wise, I mean, there's not a lot of like AGL units, unfortunately. So, I mean, we'll bring what we can. I mean, this GT Android is really not going to hit that hard, so we don't really have anything to really worry about. But let me get the units pulled up here, so we can kind of see what they have, what they've done with them post EZA. So if we go over here to the good old Dokkan wiki, we'll go over here to the global side. Let us pull up these new units. Okay, so for Android 18, since we are doing her EZA, I guess before I talk about her, let's see what the new team is that we can build for her is going to be. So we'll keep the leader skill the same, but yeah, like AGL units, there's not a whole lot regardless of which way we go. So I guess we could bring Pan, we can bring them. I guess we could just bring Roto. I mean, we could just bring it like this. Either way, we'll be fine, like regardless. But for this GT Android 18, she is going to be a Worthy Rivals category key 3 77% or STR key 3 50%. She raises attack and defense for 1 turn on her super, causes supreme damage to all enemies, and raises superclass allies attack by 35% for 1 turn. Her passive, she gets attack and defense 150%. She gets an additional defense 100%, and reduces damage received by 18% and all allies defense plus 30% as the first attacker in a turn. So she is actually like legitimately a slot 1 unit. So you do want to bring her in slot 1 there. She gets a additional defense plus 100% and an additional damage reduction of 18% as the first attacker in a turn for 5 turns from the character's entry turn. And then she also gets key plus 2 plus an additional attack 150% and a medium chance of performing a crit for 3 turns after receiving an attack. So you do want to kind of build her in a more additional kind of way, just because she does get that she does pretty much have a chance of performing a crit after she gets hit. So you, like I said, you just kind of want to throw her in slot 1, let her take the brunt of the damage, and then she'll get that crit. She gets the damage reduction, and she gets even like more damage reduction, and she gives all allies defense plus 30% as long as you put her in slot 1. So she's definitely going to be a slot 1 unit for sure. And then her link set, she gets Android Assault, Infinite Energy, Twin Terrors, Battlefield Diva, Cold Judgment, GT, and Shattering the Limit. So she has the basic Android link set other than GT, which obviously her being a GT unit, they seem to just love giving every single GT unit the actual GT link. But it's funny because like unless the unit is actually, I think, unless they have GT in their name, they won't have the link as far as I can remember. Well, maybe not. I think there are some units here that don't have, yeah, because like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta doesn't have it in his name, and he still has the link, so no question marks. We're getting kind of unlucky with this one. But yeah, so she's on her categories is androids, siblings bond, worthy rivals, battle of wits, and GT heroes. So she's actually not on a lot of categories, which is surprising, because I always felt like Android 18s would be on more categories, but I guess with her just being from like the GT saga, she's not on a whole lot. And I guess maybe like, I don't know, maybe one day they'll give us an actual like GT saga like leaders maybe. I don't see why they wouldn't, because we do have like pretty much every other saga except GT as a whole. I mean, hell, we even got we got the super heroes, which is literally the entirety of Dragon Ball Super, and like all the good guys are on this category. So I guess it's only maybe like a matter of time until we get an actual like GT saga maybe, like leader, which I would assume would either be a Gogeta or a Super Saiyan 4, or like a Super Saiyan 4 Goku would be my guess. So, and then I'm sure, I mean, we got obviously GT bosses, but I don't know, man. Like, I really wish that they would give us like a villains, like a villain category, not like a GT bosses. I want like a GT villains category. Like, give these units an actual team, you know, because there are a lot of like HELLFIGHTER 17s that aren't on GT bosses because they're not the quote unquote boss, since Super 17 is. And because of that, I mean, they're missing out on, you know, they're missing out on a good portion of like teams, and like they can help out, because HELLFIGHTER 17, I mean, he would link well with the Android 17s, but you can't run them together because he's not a GT bosses unit. And I mean, same thing for like the movie villains. Like movie villain wise, it's the same way. Like, you know, think of like a BoJack movie. BoJack is the only movie boss, but all of his henchmen are not on the category because they are not part of the because they're not bosses, they're just the miniature like villains. So you can't even run like Zangia or any of the other ones on the team of a movie boss team because they're not on it. So I don't know. I mean, maybe one day, hopefully, Dokkan kind of like remedies that. I really doubt that they will, but I mean, there is hope that they might do something like that. So we'll see. We'll kind of see what happens. I think what I'm gonna do is I did run the first one until I got the like appropriate medal amount. I think what I'll do is I'll just finish this run on like the super side, and then we'll do a run on the Hellfighter 17's EZAs. I'll do a run on his like super, like we'll do a Z hard and we'll do a super, just so we can kind of team build a little bit and see what team we can rock here. And like I said, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run him as the leader. We have to bring the GT Android 18 on there, but we're just going to fill the rest with the tech units just because he is AGL. So we may as well just fill it up with tech units, and you know, I don't think we'll have any issues. Oh, we got the question mark. Nice. I was really hoping that we would get this question mark like earlier on Android 18's runs, but of course Dokkan doesn't want to do that to me, so at least we got it in the video. So that does actually reduce the amount of times I'm gonna have to run the stages. So we'll take that as a W. We'll do this, we'll give you that, and we'll give you that. And then now we can also swap over and talk about this Hellfighter 17. So he is a artificial lifeform category key 3 77%, or AGL type key 3 50% HP. He causes, on his super, he causes supreme damage to the enemy, lowers attack and defense, and he's got a guaranteed seal. So that's actually not a terrible, it's not terrible. I mean, it's 20% lowering for attack and defense, and he's got a 100% chance to seal, so he's good in that aspect. And then in his passive, he's got attack and defense 150%. He gets an additional defense 100% as the second or third attacker in a turn. He gets a high chance of evading enemies' attacks, including supers. He gets an additional chance of evading enemies' attacks plus 17% for 3 turns from the character's entry turn. So he gets that little extra buff right there. And then he gets an additional attack and defense plus 20% up to 80% with each attack evaded. So you may want to go with more of a dodge build on this guy. He gets an additional attack plus 100% when performing a super, key plus 2, and launches an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super starting from the 4th turn from the character's entry. So I guess you can, I mean, with him being a free-to-play unit, it's so hard to like build these units like correctly. I guess you could build him like dodge. He doesn't have any crit built in, so you could put crit on him. I mean, he's got a decent amount of additional, but you can also put additional on him. So maybe you can kind of build him like kind of neutral, I guess, across the board. But yeah, I think I'm with mine. I think I've got him built with like mostly dodge, a little bit of crit, and some additional in there. Probably not going to use him in a whole lot of stages, so it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, there you guys go. We're just going to run the medals until we get it's 15 bronze, 40 silver, and then 12. It's going to be 12 rainbow and 12 gold. So that's kind of like the medal count that you're going to get to. And once you do that, you can just awaken these units and get to using them. And you can also just farm up a second copy to SA5 and just feed them in for free, so that way you're not wasting any resources or anything like that. So there you guys go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, consider hitting that like button, and if you are new here, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye guys.